Hello, this is Katie, and I wanted to show you a quick 3 Mother's Day cards. I'm going to be doing some ink blending with Distress Oxide, some pinks, purples, maybe a yellow, I haven't decided. I want to do kind of different combos on each card. I have Bristol Smooth paper that I'm going to be using for the blending portion, and then I just have my regular paper tray ink white Stamper Select for my card bases. So I've created those. So I will get one of the smooth sheets out. And then I think I'm going to trim this down because I'm only going to need 3 of this size. I'm using the second size down from the biggest of this stitched rectangles from Little Inker Designs. So I'm not quite sure if this, oh, that might not be enough. Okay, I'll just work with this big piece for now. So I'm going to stamp and turn this around. So I'm going to use my Tim Holtz platform. I do have the bigger one, but I just don't think I need the large size. So I'm going to hold that down, and the stamp I'm going to be using is the Happy Mother's Day stamp from Ink Road. So I'll be putting this, and I do want, I'm gonna white heat emboss it, white powder, so I want to prepare that with my embossing buddy guy. I think maybe I'll just use the corners then, and just do that all now. So I do the embossing buddy, but there's still powder, so I do brush it away, but it doesn't seem to affect the effectiveness of it, so it should be okay. So I'll make sure I put that in the corner. And then I will put this, we're going to be cutting it out after I blend it from here. So that should be a good place for it. And I'm just going to use the Versamark watermark ink, the clear ink. Then we will stamp that down. Hopefully that is good. Oops. Then we'll do one on this corner. Ink that up again. This ink is very, very sticky, so it's very good at going where it's supposed to go. So I don't worry too much about the impression, because it usually does it very well. And then I did this corner with the embossing buddy. So we'll ink this up a 3rd time. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside, and I will clean that stamp later. So I know you really can't tell where on here I have them, but it's these 3 corners, this corner, and then this one down here. So I'm going to, over some just regular computer paper, put on my white embossing powder. Make sure it catches the whole image. And then I may have some brushing away to do in the detail, but now you can see the powder catching on. Okay, so I'm going to put this back in the bucket. And then just wipe off any excess so I don't melt it to my table. And then I usually just take whatever size paintbrush works. But this one, for example, has just some powder that's stuck to some ink. I probably pressed too hard. So I just brush those away as I find them. That one looks fine. That one has some there. And I'm going to be blending around it, so I just want to make sure that there's no powder around it either. Okay, so I'm going to heat up my gun, and then we're going to melt these, and then we'll start blending. Okay, so hopefully that was as fun to watch as it was to do. I love watching that melt. So we've got that. It looks like on a couple of these, the E, maybe on the second and third stamp, my E was missing a little ink or pressure or something. That's okay. So I think I'm going to try a purple blend. I thought I had a light, like a light purple, but maybe I don't. So I have 3 purples. I have Wilted Violet, Dusty Concord, and Seedless Preserves. So let's see, Wilted Violet. Okay. So I'm going to start with some Dusty Concord. That's the kind of the lightest or not so bright of the 3. Kind of bring in some of that. Mix in some of the brighter Wilted Violet. Sorry. And then some Seedless Preserves on the other side. And then just use each of them to kind of soften out those lines. Okay, so I'm going to use this, the die as kind of a guide to make sure I'm blending enough area. So that should be good on that. Okay, and then what you want to do is, I'm going to grab a paper towel and wipe off the white to get the ink off of there so the white still shows through. So we've got that blend, and then I'm going to try, I'll put these lids back on these ones. I'm gonna try kind of a pinky red. I have worn lipstick. I don't even think I've used this one yet. So we'll get some, ooh, I like that pink, that's very nice. And then I've picked raspberry. These are all oxides to come in from the other side. And then festive berries, which is the, I think the lesser red of the two reds. I have abandoned coral as well. So it's more of like a pinky red to me. Then we'll go back to worn lipstick to kind of soften the rest of it out. And get more picked raspberry so our bright pink doesn't disappear. Okay, oops, sorry, I'm knocking these over. So then we should have enough space on that one. So I'll get a new area in the paper towel and just wipe the sentiment so that white shows through. And then for this one, I wanted to somehow work in some yellow. So I think I might try and do the festive berries. And then I need to swap out one of my blenders here. And I'm going to try and do some squeezed lemonade, the yellow. And we'll try worn lipstick, the pink. So this corner here is kind of like pink lemonade. We'll use the yellow to kind of blend that out. Now it's orange. All right, so I want to make sure I've covered all the corners for my frame. Okay, and we should be good on that one. So sorry, these topple over so easily when I'm just setting them on top of the ink pad. Okay. So then for this one, we will wipe off the ink. All right, and then I need to use my Big Shot to cut these out. So I'm just going to pause just for the sake of time, and I will cut each of these out of this frame, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have these three cut out now from that stitched rectangle, and I'm going to mount them onto their card bases. I'm going to be using a new roll of foam tape. This one's a little bit wider. It just happened to be cheaper, and I think wider would even maybe help a little bit. So it's that compared to, it's kind of hard to show you. That's my old one. So it's a little bit wider, and I'm just going to be using this one instead. All right, so, and I just want to make sure, this one helps a little bit too, because I want to make sure these are properly supported. So I want to cover the whole back of the card with foam tape. So I will do one of these with you and then do the other two off camera. Okay, and then I think I'll cut a thin strip for the bottom, just so we're covered. Well, that was too long. Okay. That definitely covers the space a little bit faster when you're using a wider foam tape. It just happened to be the cheaper one for the amount you got on Amazon at the time versus the other roll I normally buy. So then we will center that and make sure that's pressed down, especially since this paper probably warped a little bit. It's a little warpy from when we did the embossing powder and the melting. So I will do the other two and I will be right back. Okay, so those are the 3 cards. Pretty simple. I'm not going to add anything to them, I don't think. Yeah, so that is it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.